Lieutenant Raiden Carter sat quietly at his station aboard the starship Aurora's Flame. The ship was deep in space, far from Earth, exploring the outer edges of human territory. Raiden was the communications officer, and his job was to listen. 2 signals from space and try to understand them. The ship's computers beeped softly. A new signal was coming in. It was strange, not like any normal space message. The signal had an old sound, almost like a whisper, but the whisper was calling out a name. Raiden Carter. The voice was soft and calm. It was as if someone far away was trying to find him. Raiden looked around the small room. The other crew members didn't seem to notice. But for him, the voice felt different. It was not just noise or static. It was alive. It was personal. He quickly typed on his console, "Captain, I'm receiving a strange signal. It sounds like a whisper, and it calls my name." Captain Alina Soren came to his side. She was a strong woman, with sharp eyes. She listened for a moment, then nodded. "Can you tell where it comes from?" she asked. Raiden stared at the data. The signal was coming from a place the ship's charts did not show, a hidden planet in the Virilax Nebula, far beyond any known star system. "We don't know what this place is," Raiden said. "But the signal is strong, and it is." "Calling to me?" Captain Soren frowned but said, "Plot a course to that location. We need to investigate." Raiden's heart beat fast. The signal was strange, but it felt like a call from the past, or from somewhere he had never been but still remembered. The Aurora's Flame changed direction, moving toward the unknown planet. The stars outside the window shifted as the ship entered the nebula, a swirling cloud of gas and dust that hid many secrets. Raiden sat back and thought, why did the voice call his name? How did it know who he was? He was just a normal man, born on Earth, with no special past. As the ship neared the planet, the signal grew louder. It was no longer just a whisper. It became clear words, "Raiden, come to me." The crew prepared to send a landing team. Captain Soren chose Raiden to join them. "You seem connected to this," she said. "Maybe you will find answers." Raiden felt a mix of fear and hope. Agreed. The landing shuttle left. The ship had moved through thick clouds down to the planet's surface. Below, the land was covered with dense forests and tall mountains. The air was thick but breathable. When the shuttle landed, Raiden and the team stepped out. The jungle around them was alive with strange sounds and glowing plants. The colors were different. The trees had purple leaves, and the sky was a soft green. They followed the signal deep into the forest. Soon, they found the ruins of an ancient building, tall, made of smooth stone, that shone faintly in the dim light. At the entrance was a large door with strange carvings. The pictures showed a tall alien woman with wings, holding a small human figure in her arms. The human looked like a child. Raiden stepped forward and reached out to touch the carvings. Suddenly, the stone glowed under his hand. The door opened slowly with a low hum. Inside, the air was cool and still. The walls were covered with glowing symbols, the same ones Raiden had seen on the door. As he walked through the hall, the whisper returned. "Raiden, you are home." Raiden stopped. His heart raced. Could this place feel like home when he had never been here before? The team followed him, watching carefully. At the end of the hall, they entered a large chamber. In the center stood a tall statue of the winged woman, the alien queen. Her eyes seemed alive, shining with a soft blue light. Suddenly, the walls lit up, and a hologram appeared above the statue. The image was clear. The queen was real. Or at least her image was. She looked directly at Raiden and said, "You have returned to me." At last, the crew gasped. Raiden's mind was filled with questions. Who are you?" he asked. "I am Queen Thalzera," the hologram said. "And you, Raiden Carter, are the one I have waited for?" Before anyone could answer, the floor beneath Raiden shook. The ground cracked open, and he fell through a hidden trapdoor. He landed in darkness, his head spinning. Around him was a new chamber, glowing softly with blue light. Raiden stood slowly and looked around. In front of him, a tall figure appeared. Not a hologram this time, but a living being. The alien queen stood before him. Her wings stretched wide, and her eyes glowed with power and kindness. She smiled and reached out her hand. "Welcome home, Raiden." Raiden blinked, still trying to clear the dizziness from his fall. The chamber was quiet, but the air hummed with a strange energy. The walls around him glowed faintly blue, and strange symbols floated in the air like stars. The alien queen stood tall and graceful. Her skin shimmered like silver under the soft light. Her eyes were deep and kind, but also full of power. "I am Queen Thalzara," she said again, her voice calm and steady. "You have come home, Raiden, though you may not yet understand." "Why?" Raiden looked at her, confused. "I don't understand. How do you know me? And what is this place?" The queen stepped closer. "This is the Temple of Virallax, the heart of the Saravari Empire. Long ago, our people watched over the galaxy, protecting peace and knowledge. But we vanished hidden by time and enemies." Raiden's mind raced. "But I'm human. I've never been anywhere but Earth, and I have no idea about this empire." The queen smiled gently. "You are more than human, Raiden. Your blood carries the code of the Saravari? You are a key to the legacy we left behind." Raiden shook his head, trying to understand. "What do you mean? I'm just a soldier." "Not just a soldier," she replied. "You are the child of hope, a bridge between our worlds. Long ago, the Saravari seeded many planets with life to protect the galaxy's future. Earth was one of them. Your ancestors carried our essence in their DNA." The chamber's light grew brighter as the queen raised her hands. The symbols on the walls swirled faster, painting glowing images of stars, ships, and battles. Rond watched the mechanical enemy called the Zarthiel. The Saravari fought the Zarthiel. The Saravari fought to save life everywhere. They were betrayed. The empire fell, and the queen went into stasis, waiting for the one who could awaken it. "You, Raiden, are that one." He felt a strange warmth in his chest, like a seed growing inside him. The voice he heard earlier, the whisper calling his name, was not just a signal, it was a call from his own soul. The queen stepped closer, her gaze steady. "I have waited for you for centuries. Now the time has come." Suddenly, the chamber shook. From above, Raiden heard voices and footsteps. His team was trying to find him. "Raiden, are you okay? Respond." Captain Soren's voice echoed faintly. Raiden called back, "I'm here, but I'm somewhere else." The queen's face grew serious. "Your people are not safe. The Zarthella followed you here. They come to finish their war." Raiden's heart pounded. The Zarthiel. Are they? They are machines born of war and hate. They destroyed the Saravari once, and now they seek to destroy Earth and all it stands for. Raiden clenched his fists. "Then we need to stop them." The queen nodded. "But first, you must awaken your true power. Come with me." The halls opened into a vast chamber. It's filled with strange machines and glowing crystals. "This is the heart core," she explained, "the source of Saravari's strength. It holds the knowledge, the power, and the hope of our people." Raiden approached the heart core. It was a large crystal, floating and spinning slowly in the center. Rays of light connected it to the walls like veins. "Touch it," the queen said softly. Raiden reached out and placed his hand on the crystal. A shock ran through him. Visions flooded his mind. He saw stars, planets, wars, and peace. He saw himself piloting ships with strange powers. Fighting alongside the Saravari, his body tingled as the ancient code in his DNA woke up. His mind felt sharper. He knew things he never learned: languages, history, technology. When the visions faded, Raiden gasped. He looked at the queen. "I feel different. Stronger." "Good," she smiled. "You are ready. But time is short." Suddenly alarms sounded. From above, the landing team was under attack. The Zerthal ships had arrived. "Your friends need help," Raiden said. The queen placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then let us prepare. The fight for the galaxy's future begins now." Raiden hurried back to the surface. Outside, the jungle was alive with explosions and flashing lights. The Zarthal ships circled above, firing on the human shuttle and ground teams. Raiden ran to the landing site. Captain Soren greeted him with relief. "We thought we lost you," she said. Raiden looked up. "We're not alone here.
There's
More than just us." He told the team about the Queen and the Heart Core. They listened, stunned but hopeful. "Then we fight," Soren said. "For Earth and for the Saravari." Raiden nodded. "Together." The team worked quickly to set up defenses. Raiden could feel the power of the Saravari growing inside him. He knew this was just the beginning. Above them, the Zerthel fleet prepared for a final strike. The ancient war had returned, and humanity was now a part of it. Raiden stood on the edge of the jungle clearing, watching the stars through the broken canopy. The distant roar of engines and the flash of light from the Zarthal ships reminded him of the danger closing in. But his mind was caught up in what? Queen Thalzara had told him deep inside the temple that he was not just human. The words echoed in his head. "Your blood carries the code of the Saravari. You are the key." He clenched his fists. How could this be true? He was a simple soldier from Earth, with no knowledge of alien races or ancient empires, yet the evidence was clear. The symbols in the temple spoke to him. The Heart Core had awakened. Something inside, Captain Alina Soren approached him quietly. "Raiden, we need a plan. The Zarthel will attack soon." He turned to her, the weight of the truth pressing down on his shoulders. "There is more to this fight than just us. The Saravari Empire was once a protector of the galaxy. I'm part of that legacy." Soren frowned. "How do you know you're ready for that?" "I don't," Raiden admitted, "but I have to try. For Earth, for all of us." Suddenly, a message came through the ship's comms. It was the Queen, speaking directly into Raiden's mind. The connection was new and strange, but he understood her clearly. "Raiden, you must come back to me. There is something you must see." He nodded to Soren and moved toward the temple again. Inside, the Queen led him to a hidden chamber. The walls were covered in light and symbols that shifted and changed as they walked. Finally, they reached a large circular room. At its center was a glowing orb, pulsing softly. "This is the memory sphere," Thalzara said. "The history of the Saravari, their triumphs, their mistakes, and their final battle." Raiden stepped closer. The orb glowed brighter. Suddenly, his mind was flooded with images, memories that were not his own, but felt familiar. He saw vast fleets of ships soaring through space. Fighting in brilliant light, Saravari warriors, noble and strong, wielding energy weapons and star-forged armor. He saw planets burning, civilizations crushed by the Zarthel, the cold machines bent on conquest. Then he saw Earth, but it was different. Humans lived in harmony with advanced technology, their minds linked to the stars, and in the center of it all was a Saravari warrior who looked like Raiden, young, brave, and determined. The visions faded, leaving Raiden breathless. "So this is who I was, and what I can become," he whispered. The Queen's voice was gentle. "Your ancestors fought with us. The Saravari planted seeds of hope across the galaxy, including on Earth, but the Zerthiel destroyed most of our empire. We survived only because of those seeds." Raiden felt a surge of pride and sorrow. "Why did you wait so long to find me?" "Because you had to grow, learn, and be ready," Thalzara said. "The bond between us is ancient. When the time was right, the signal called you home." Raiden looked at the Queen. "And now the Zarthiel are here." "What do we do?" She smiled, a fierce light in her eyes. "We fight. Together, we will light the galaxy again." Back outside, the Zerthal ships moved into position. They're massive. Forms blocked out the stars. The humans prepared for battle, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. Raiden climbed aboard a sleek Saravari, ship that had risen from beneath the planet's surface. The Queen's power flowed through the craft, merging with human technology as he took the pilot's seat. A calm voice filled his mind, the Heart Core AI activating. "Raiden Carter," it said. "Welcome back. Your journey begins now." A deep breath, Raiden launched the ship into the sky. The battle was about to begin. The sky over Viralax was a battlefield now. Zarthel warships hung like dark shadows among the stars, their weapons ready to strike. On the ground, the human landing team and the Saravari forces hurried to prepare for the attack. Lieutenant Raiden Carter sat firmly in the cockpit of his Saravari starfighter. The ship thrummed with power, perfect mix of ancient alien technology and human engineering. Lights blinked on the control panel, and a calm voice echoed in his mind. Pilot Raiden Carter, systems online. Hardcore AI engaged. Tactical support. Ready. Raiden took a deep breath. The calm voice helped steady him. He had never flown a ship like this before, but the Saravari technology seemed to respond to his thoughts. It was as if the ship and he were connected to parts of one whole. Outside the cockpit window, the dark silhouettes of Zarthal fighters zoomed toward the planet's surface. Their weapons flashed with deadly precision. Captain Alina Soren's voice came over the comms. All units, hold your ground. Protect the landing zone at all costs. Raiden's ship surged forward. He fired the ship's pulse cannons, hitting one of the incoming fighters. The enemy ship exploded in a burst of sparks. But many more were coming. The Aurora's flame and the human landing team fought bravely, but the Zarthel had superior numbers and firepower. Human weapons struggled to pierce the enemy's armored hulls. Rayden remembered the Queen's words that the heart core was the key. He pushed his ship closer to the temple, where the great crystal still glowed. Heart core. Raiden whispered, "What can we do?" The AI responded smoothly. Activation sequence ready. Initiate command. Raiden pressed a button on the console. Deep within the planet, hidden ships and weapons began to rise. The ground trembled as sleek Saravar cruisers, long buried beneath. The jungle emerged from underground hangars. The ships were alive with energy, their smooth surfaces shining under the planet's light. They lifted off, joining Raiden in the sky. Captain Soren's voice was full of hope. Saravari reinforcements, report in. One by one, the new ships answered. Raiden could feel a surge of pride. The ancient power of the Saravari was waking. Again, Raiden, the Queen's voice filled his mind. You must lead them. You are our flame, the light that burns through darkness. Raiden nodded, gripping the controls. I won't let you down. The Saravari fleet moved together, swift and silent. Raiden's ship was at the front, guiding them toward the Zarthel invaders. The battle exploded in space. Lasers cut through the void, explosions bloomed like stars. Raiden danced through the chaos, dodging enemy fire and striking with precision. He felt the power of the Saravari code inside him faster. Reflexes, sharper senses. The ship seemed alive, responding instantly to his commands. One by one, Zarthal fighters fell, but the enemy was relentless. Suddenly, a massive Zarthel dreadnought appeared. Size dwarfed everything else. A mechanical fortress. Covered in weapon turrets, Captain Soren's voice warned Raiden that ship could destroy us all. You need to take it down. Raiden's heart pounded. He remembered the stories from the memory sphere. The final battle, where the Saravari sacrificed everything. I have to try, he said. Eyes fixed on the giant enemy. The dreadnought fired. A barrage of energy beams. Raiden's ship was tossed in the blast. Warning lights flashed, but he kept flying. He dodged closer, weaving through the fire. The ship's weak points glowed red, exposed energy cores. Raiden fired his weapons, hitting the cores. Explosions rocked the dreadnought. Started to falter, but still fought back. Suddenly, his ship's systems overloaded. The power surged through his body, painful but alive. The hardcore AI spoke again. Raiden, merge with me. They use our combined strength. He hesitated but nodded. Closing his eyes, he let the AI flow through his mind and body. His vision sharpened. He felt connected to every ship, every weapon. With new power, he struck the dreadnought's core directly. Massive. Explosion swallowed the enemy's ship. The threat was destroyed. The Zarthel fleet began to retreat. Captain Soren cheered. We did it. The Saravari fleet lives. Raiden opened his eyes, breathless but victorious. The Queen's voice filled his mind one last time. You are our hope, Raiden. The galaxy will remember your name. The battle was won, but Raiden knew. It was only the beginning. The Zerthiel would return. But now, Earth had the strength of the Saravari. Together, they would protect the stars. The battle was over, but the air still crackled with tension. The Zarthel fleet had been forced to retreat, but their threat was not gone. Raiden Carter stood on the bridge of the Aurora's flame, staring out into the dark sky where the last enemy ships vanished like shadows. Captain Alina Soren stood beside him, her face calm but serious. "They'll be back," she said. "And next time, they might bring more ships." Raiden nodded. The weight of what had happened was heavy on his shoulders. He was no longer just a soldier. He was the link between humanity and the Saravari, the hope for both. Suddenly, the Queen's voice came to him once more, clear and warm inside his mind. "Raiden, it is time." He turned to the holographic figure of Queen Thalzara, who had appeared beside the heart-core crystal on the bridge. "What is time?" he asked. "The time to awaken fully," she said. "To become what you were always meant to be." Raiden hesitated. The memories from the memory sphere, the power of the heart core, the connection to the Saravarial, these were part of him now. But what did awakening fully mean? The Queen smiled. "You will merge completely with the heart core. You will gain strength beyond anything you have known. But it will come with a cost." Raiden looked into her glowing eyes and nodded. "I'm ready." The chamber around them shimmered as the heart core began to pulse faster. Light flowed from the crystal into Raiden's body. He felt energy surge through his veins, warm and alive. His mind expanded, filled with knowledge and strength. He saw visions of the past and future, of peace, of war, of a galaxy united. But with the power came pain. Raiden gritted his teeth and focused on the Queen's voice. "Hold on, Raiden. You are strong." The energy settled. When he opened his eyes, he felt different, more powerful, more certain. The Queen reached out and took his hand. "You have become the Saravari flame, the light that will guide us." Outside, the Aurora's flame and the Saravari fleet stood ready. The threat of the Zarthel remained, but now the galaxy had a new guardian. Captain Soren approached. "Happens now?" Raiden smiled. "Now we build a future, together." The Saravari and humans began to communicate openly. Ancient knowledge was shared. Technology was exchanged. An alliance was formed. Raiden became a symbol of hope not just for Earth, but for many worlds waiting in the dark. Months later on, the surface of Viralax Raiden stood beside Queen Thalzara. The jungle was alive with new growth, signs of life returning. The Queen looked at him with warmth. "You saved us all, Raiden. The Saravari live again." He smiled back. "We saved each other." The stars shone above them, endless and bright. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, it felt full of promise. The Queen whispered softly, "We are no longer lost." Raiden took a deep breath. Feeling the weight of destiny and the strength of new beginnings, together they turned to face the stars.